Hello. I want to talk a bit about Marxists or leftists or social justice warriors. I guess they're like different aspects of the same cancerous phenomenon. But anyways, so this is obviously from the movie 300. I think this has a character that is like a perfect analogy of a Marxist. And it's this guy.
By serving you in the battle.
Fine thrust.
I will kill many Persians.
Raise your shield.
Sire.
Raise your shield as high as you can. Your father should have told you how our phalanx works. We fight as a single, impenetrable unit. That is the source of our strength. Each Spartan protects the man to his left, thigh to neck, with his shield.
So he told, in case you didn't hear, because his voice is a bit low, so he told him to, like he has a good thrust, but then he told him, King Leonidas told the hunchback to raise his shield, and of course he couldn't because he's a hunchback and his physique isn't a proper Spartan physique, so he cannot be part of the phalanx because he cannot protect the guy to his left. And well, this is like later in the movie, then this guy, since he cannot be join the Spartans because he wanted to join them to fight against the Persians or whatever. And well, when he cannot do that later on in the movie, he betrays the Spartans to the Persians by telling them some secret route to attack or something. And I think this says all about the leftists, because like they are basically, this is how they are. They are like, weaker, inferior, and they envy those who are better than themselves. And that's why they basically just want to destroy or weaken those who are stronger than themselves. And like, of course, it's not fair that he was born this way, that he was a hunchback, and just his physique makes him incapable of, like, acting as a soldier. But that's just how it is. Like, you cannot fight certain facts of reality, or like Marxists try to do it, like, saying I'm transgender ponykin, whatever, and when such things don't really exist. But anyways, like so this is like I guess you could say this is more like the intellectual kind of Marxist or academic Marxist or something. I think those are people who are basically well, they are like they are sort of cowardly and weak physically, although not necessarily deformed like this guy. He's just a character in a movie, but that's why they want to like redistribute the money of the property of people who are richer than them. And I don't think they do it truly because they care about the poor people. It's more like the Marxists are they want some of the money to themselves, but they are too cowardly to say it directly, like, hey, I want some of your money, give it to me. No, because they have to like veil it in the veneer of like, I'm doing it for the greater good, or I'm being altruistic, but it's more like an act because they are too cowardly to like say what they really want. And then like other kinds of Marxists, I think it's more like the thug Marxists. Like there are people like, well, I guess the best example that comes to my mind is like from the China in the Cultural Revolution, like those peasants who attacked like the lords, like the feudal lords or whatever. And I think it's like people who are like sort of thuggish and understand like, let's say, basic common sense things like power and, you know, money is good and it's good to have food and women or whatever, but they're just too dumb to really think about anything, and they wouldn't like turn against their feudal lords on their own because they couldn't like come up with the idea like, hey, maybe we should attack them. But after like, you know, they hear some Marxist preach to them like, hey, those people are oppressing you, now you should attack them. And so they do. And of course, like sort of like the migrants from Islamic countries in Europe, they're sort of included in this group too. Like they don't believe in the Marxist ideology as much, but they sort of like, oh, you racist, give me money, balls is big, need women. That sort of like, of course, not really. Well, the academic Marxists, they sort of tell themselves probably that they really believe in the ideology, but still they probably don't. But yeah, like Marxism has been called politics of envy, and that's basically what it is. And I think this guy represents it very well. And yeah, there's like I said, I think there are basically two kinds, like more the intellectual cowardly types who try to come up with all sorts of intellectual excuses to say like, oh, we have to do it the Marxist way because, you know, it's good for everybody, although it's actually just good for them. And then there are these thugs who know that like, hey, gives me that, gives me more stuff, gives me, I like it. That's basically how it is. And that's not to say that I'm a fan of many of the like right-wing views either, and that's saying that, you know, the feudal lord is necessarily the good guy, but still, I guess I believe in some balance and like some, you know, decency, and clearly like Marxists just reveal by their own behavior what sort of people they are. Like they just exist to destroy and weaken that's which is strong, and like to make ugly that's which is beautiful, and so on.